The long-standing feud between Steffi Forrester and Luna Nozawa has reached a tragic and devastating climax, shattering lives and igniting a web of suspicion, fear, and heartbreak that will reverberate through the lives of everyone connected to Forrester Creations and the Spencer family. The tension between these two women has simmered for years, rooted in deep wounds and unhealed resentments, primarily revolving around Finn, the man at the center of their conflict and Luna's biological father. Steffi has relentlessly blocked Luna's attempts to build a relationship with Finn, leaving Luna isolated, betrayed, and consumed by a growing storm of anger and pain. This festering resentment, buried under years of emotional turmoil, finally erupted one fateful night in an encounter that would change everything forever. The night began with Steffi making the decision to confront Luna at her home, intending to deliver a harsh warning. An act meant to intimidate and assert control over a situation spiraling beyond her comfort zone. Steffi's visit was a calculated move, a clear message that Luna's presence and claims were unwelcome, a boundary drawn in the sand. But instead of quelling tensions, it lit the fuse on a volatile confrontation that quickly spiraled out of control. Luna, whose pent-up anguish and fury had been quietly building for years, could no longer contain the storm within. As words were exchanged, voices rose and tempers flared. The conflict escalated to a point of no return. In the heat of the argument, Luna's rage overtook her judgment. A single shove, a momentary loss of control, set off a catastrophic chain reaction. Steffi stumbled, fell, and suffered a fatal injury. The scene transformed from a tense confrontation to a tragic accident, but one with irreversible consequences. The weight of what had happened crashed down on Luna immediately, flooding her with panic and dread. Faced with the horrifying reality that Steffi was dead, Luna made a desperate and fateful decision to conceal the incident and cover her tracks. Fear of legal repercussions, public shame, and the devastating fallout for her already fragile family situation compelled Luna to hide the truth, setting the stage for a tense and suspense-filled unraveling. In the days that followed, the atmosphere grew heavy with suspicion and unease. Steffi's sudden and unexplained death sent shockwaves through the Forrester family and the extended circle of friends and colleagues. Initial grief quickly morphed into suspicion as fragments of evidence and inconsistencies began to surface. Rumors spread, whispers grew louder, and the question on everyone's lips became whether this tragic event was truly an accident or something far more sinister. All eyes slowly turned toward Luna, whose history of conflict with Steffi, emotional instability, and inexplicable behavior now painted her as the prime suspect in a case that was as complex as it was heartbreaking. Luna found herself trapped in a web of her own making, the weight of guilt and fear pressing down relentlessly as investigators closed in and the community around Forrester Creations grappled with the shocking loss. Her every move was scrutinized, every word analyzed for hidden meanings or admissions. The once isolated and tormented young woman became the focus of intense scrutiny, her reputation and freedom hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, Finn, torn between his duties as a father, his love for Steffi, and his instinct to protect Luna, was thrust into an impossible position. The man who had been the emotional anchor for many now faced the ultimate test of loyalty, justice, and love. The tragedy irrevocably changed the dynamics between families and friends. Steffi's loved ones mourned deeply, their grief intertwined with anger and confusion. The Forrester family, known for their resilience and ability to withstand countless storms, faced perhaps their most harrowing challenge yet. The fragile alliances and long-standing rivalries all seemed to collapse under the weight of loss, suspicion, and the desperate need for answers. Luna's decision to hide the truth, while initially a survival instinct, only fueled the fire of doubt and fear, driving wedges between those who sought justice and those who hoped for mercy. As the investigation unfolded, secrets began to surface, old wounds reopened, and new alliances forged in the crucible of crisis. The truth behind Steffi's death became a focal point of relentless drama, with twists and turns that kept everyone guessing. Witnesses emerged, conflicting testimonies surfaced, and the pressure mounted on Luna to come clean. The once simmering tension between Luna and Steffi exploded into a full-blown crisis that exposed the darkest corners of their intertwined lives, revealing betrayals, regrets, and the devastating cost of unresolved pain. The emotional toll on Luna was immense. Haunted by the accidental nature of her actions and consumed by fear of retribution, she grappled with guilt that threatened to unravel her entirely. Yet beneath the fear lay a flicker of hope that the truth might somehow lead to forgiveness, or at least understanding. The path ahead was fraught with peril, but Luna's story was far from over. As the days passed, the fragile threads of her relationships with Finn, her family, and the Forrester clan hung in the balance, each moment heavy with consequence. In the wake of Steffi's death, the ripple effects touched every corner of Forrester Creations and the lives of those connected to the Spencer and Forrester families. The tragedy served as a brutal reminder of the high stakes in a world where love, loyalty, and ambition often clash, with devastating results. The fallout from that one fateful night promised to reshape relationships, challenge loyalties, and ignite a quest for justice that would test everyone involved. This chapter in The Bold and the Beautiful is a poignant and gripping saga of passion, pain, and tragedy, a narrative that weaves the raw edges of human emotion with the intricate machinations of family and power. The loss of Steffi, the unraveling of Luna's secret, and the ensuing fallout set the stage for a dramatic exploration of guilt, redemption, and the enduring quest for truth in a world where nothing is ever quite as it seems. The story continues to unfold with intensity, promising to captivate audiences with every twist and turn as the characters confront the consequences of that dark, fateful night forever etched into their lives. In the aftermath of Steffi's tragic death, the tension at Forrester Creations and within the intertwined Spencer and Forrester families reached a fever pitch. Luna's decision to hide the truth weighed heavily on her conscience, but the fear of legal consequences and losing her tenuous grip on Finn's life kept her silent. As whispers and suspicions grew louder, the fragile veneer of normalcy shattered completely. Family members, friends, and colleagues all sensed that something was amiss, and the slow unraveling of Luna's secret became inevitable. Finn, devastated by Steffi's sudden loss, struggled to maintain composure. His heart was torn between grief and his paternal instincts to protect Luna, whose erratic behavior only deepened his concern. Despite her efforts to appear composed, Luna's cracks began to show. She isolated herself, avoiding close interactions and growing increasingly paranoid. The community, sensing her guilt, looked at her with suspicion, and the media buzzed with rumors of foul play. Every glance from those around her felt like an accusation, every question a trap. Meanwhile, the Forrester family rallied around Steffi's children, Kelly and Hayes, trying to shield them from the unbearable truth while grappling with their own pain. Brooke Logan, Ridge Forrester, and the rest of the family found themselves engulfed in sorrow, anger, and confusion. Brooke, especially, was driven by a need for answers, pushing the investigation forward with relentless determination. Her instincts told her that the story was far from over and that Luna's role was more than just a victim of circumstance. Law enforcement officials soon intensified their investigation, uncovering subtle inconsistencies in Luna's story and discovering forensic evidence at the scene. The pressure mounted as witnesses began to speak, some recalling the heated exchanges between Luna and Steffi prior to the incident. The pieces of the puzzle started to fit together, painting a troubling picture. Luna's silence became increasingly untenable, and the weight of her secret began to threaten her mental stability. In a desperate bid for control, Luna reached out to Sheila, whose own complex history with deception and manipulation made her a potential ally and a dangerous confidant. Sheila's involvement only complicated matters further, as she had her own agenda and saw Luna's predicament as an opportunity to regain influence within the family dynamics. Their alliance, fragile and fraught with tension, hinted at further schemes brewing beneath the surface. As the community watched, Finn found himself in an impossible position. Torn between seeking justice for Steffi and his loyalty to Luna, he grappled with his own inner turmoil. His relationship with Steffi's memory became a driving force, as did his commitment to the children who now needed him more than ever. He began to quietly investigate on his own, trying to piece together the truth while protecting Luna from herself and the consequences she might face. The court of public opinion was unforgiving, and as the trial approached, alliances shifted and secrets spilled. Electra and Will, caught in their own complicated romantic entanglements, found themselves pulled into the vortex of drama. Their struggles paralleled the larger conflict, reflecting the personal costs of the tragedy rippling through Forrester Creations. In the courtroom, the battle for truth and justice unfolded with gripping intensity. Luna's defense wavered between claims of accidental death and emotional distress, while the prosecution painted a stark picture of recklessness and concealment. Witness testimonies, including Finn's heartfelt but conflicted account, brought tears and gasps from those present. The outcome was uncertain, hanging in the balance as the jury deliberated. Throughout it all, the memory of Steffi lingered like a shadow, a constant reminder of what was lost and what was at stake. Her children, Kelly and Hayes, struggled with confusion and pain, their innocence shattered too soon. Friends and family rallied around them, promising to keep Steffi's legacy alive even as they navigated the storm of grief and uncertainty. The tragedy forged new bonds and fractured old ones. In the crucible of loss, characters found unexpected strength and vulnerability. Ridge's leadership was tested as he sought to hold his family together, while Brooke's determination to uncover the truth fueled her every action. Finn's loyalty was stretched to its limits, and Luna's fate remained a haunting question mark. The saga of Steffi's death and Luna's secret became a defining chapter in the bold and the beautiful, a story of pain, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of redemption. As the dust settled, the characters faced a new reality, forever changed by that fateful night. The fallout would continue to unfold, bringing new challenges, unexpected alliances, and the unending struggle to find peace amidst chaos. In this world of passion and power, where every action echoes through generations, the consequences of a moment's anger would be felt for years to come. The story was far from over, and the journey toward healing and justice promised to be as dramatic and compelling as ever.
Oh.